Hello, welcome. Marlene here. Halloween is fast approaching and I've been racking my brain trying to think up some new ideas, and I came up with this cute platter, a witch platter. You have her broom, a cute hat, and her crystal ball. And now on to the step-by-step tutorial. If you head over to Pinterest and type in decorated witch hat, you'll see all sorts of versions. I wanted to do more of a good witch kind of design, so I opted for some purple kind of watercolor softish tones and an accent in electric green. I find purple and green really fun for Halloween. I added that little ruffle and a little accent bow cookie to the trim as opposed to a buckle to change it up a little bit. And now let's take a look at that. Witch hat. Here for the witch hat, I'm adding a bit of icing on the bottom, right like that, here. And I'm just curving kind of down where the kind of ribbon on the hat's going to go, and I'm leaving just an edge here exposed of cookie right there. So we're just filling this in. And then I'm going to do the top part of the hat, leaving a space for that ribbon on the trim kind of, and then filling in the top. I'm going to make the ribbon just slightly more narrow by adding just a little icing right here. Just get that to heal into and that's it. We're going to let this, I'm going to let this all dry since I'm painting. Here's the witch hat. I've got some diluted gray and I'm just kind of coming in, and this is called gunmetal, and I'm just dabbing the whole kind of surface here all over with that color, and then I'm just coming in with the purple and again randomly like so, and then I'm going to come in with just the alcohol. And there. And you can see it gives it a really cool kind of finish. It dries completely matte. You can see here. And now I'm just going to airbrush some polka dots on. And now I'm just darkening the perimeter. Create some shading on there. I'm adding a little ruffle. You can see here I had added a little space for that, and I've got a small tip, petal tip here. It's a 101, a ruffle tip, and I'm just doing a wiggly line here, getting it to connect to the purple area, and then just working my way across. There. Just like so, and then I'm going to fill this in the same green, I think. But I'm doing this first because I need this to be stiff and this needs to be runny. So now I'll just put it back in the bowl and add a little bit of liquid to it. Now finalizing the witch hat, I'm just filling in the ribbon area here, connecting right there, and then rotate, connect up here, and then fill that whole area in. That's it. We're going to let that dry. I'm just adding some detail to my bow. So I'm starting off with an oval here in the middle of my bow, which will hold my icing in. And then I'm just outlining this whole area here. And that will be where the loop is. And now on this side, and now I'm going to fill this in and this in. Get my icing to connect. And once this has had time to dry a little bit, I'll fill my center oval in. This just creates a bit of detail, gives the bow a little bit more kind of dimension, something going on. Moving along to the witch's broom. Here I Franken cookied together an exclamation point and a leaf. I wanted my broom to have more of a pointed tip. This could maybe be good also with an art set. You could tie it in with a paint palette. And I gave it more of a watercolor kind of look to tie into the witch's hat. Working on the broom, this is a leaf and an exclamation point. I added a bit of icing here to kind of help with this Franken cookie business, and now I'm working all in one color. I'm doing one kind of outline and flood for the whole thing. I'm going to paint to create a separation, but for right now I want to add a bit of a structural kind of support so that the pieces don't separate. So by icing it all together here, I'm going to get a little bit more kind of support or strength there to hold the two pieces together. So let's just heal this up, get it close to the edge. I can't really shake it just because I don't want this to kind of separate, so that's why I'm not kind of being too rough with this one. And we're going to let this heal over. And then we'll be able to paint these once they've had a bit of time to dry. All right, here's the broom. The icing is dry and I'm painting this end here to create a wood handle on my broom. And here's my stencil. I want the wood grain to go this way. And I'm just shielding off the bottom area where the straw is. And I'm just airbrushing lightly right here in brown. And just a light misting of the grain, right, like so. And then I'm just kind of shading the perimeter. And then just a light misting to kind of get it all brown. Just like that. And there's my little broom handle, and the straw section is nice and untouched. I'm just adding a few kind of like lines to give it a bit of interest. So here I'm just kind of going around, and I'm going to let things dry before coming in and adding more lines because they're just going to kind of melt together. And then once this has had time to dry, I'm going to come in and add another layer of these lines. The first lines have had a bit of time to dry, and so now I can come in and add another layer of them, and they'll kind of stay separate. And fill it in. I thought this looked a little bit kind of boring, so I'm just coming in now and adding some alcohol to the surface so that my color kind of is easily spread. I find that when you apply to a wet surface, it just applies kind of, it looks more interesting. And I'm just coating here in some gold color, not metallic, and just darkening up. And then I'm going to add just a bit of kind of more brown tones to the whole thing, just to, you know, give it more of a painted look. And really very forgiving. You see? Just slightly more interesting than this version here. And now I've got my gray, and I'm just adding like a straw broom has wire here to hold the straw onto the handle. So that's all that I'm doing here. Here's the final cookie from the set, a crystal ball. This is actually a snow globe. I was looking through my Christmas cutters for this set, and you'll find the stencil files on my Patreon account should you want to download that and cut your own to decorate your cookie. I'm going to be painting these, so I'm working in white icing. The whole thing is going to be white to start. And I'm just outlining the exact shape of the cookie. I'm going to work with my snow globe shape. I'm working on my crystal ball, and you see here I want to create like a bit of a cloudy area on the side. So you need a dry white base, and then I'm placing my stencil on there to shield the white in the rest of the cookie. And I'm going to come in and add my clouded area. Hitting from the outside in, you see, creating that shading. And then I've got this kind of piece that's all bumpy, and this creates my clouds on the inside, and I'm hitting the actual shield, and the overspray is creating kind of the clouds there. There. There we go. And now I'm shielding, protecting the cloud area that we created, and I'm just doing a spin around with some regal purple, some dark purple, and then hitting the edge. Need a bit of a fade in, like so. And now I'm going to get some electric purple And there's my kind of crystal ball area. I'm going to get my gray again that we used initially, kind of to tie in the two areas. And now I'm adding some bats to my design. I did add all kinds of elements to the stencil. Stars, sparkles, a moon, but I'm going to go with the bats since it's Halloween. And I'm just resting that right here. And I'm working in some gray icing, and I'm just adding a layer of that. And then I'm adding some sparkles to my area while it's wet. And let's lift that off. And there they are. I'm just going to add some sparkles over here. I'm just going to now quickly add some glitter to the side here with my stencil. I've got a bit of white icing to which I did add some food gel to make it a little bit more opaque. And some glitter to that. There we go. Let's lift that off. And pretty much done for the crystal ball area. Now I'm going to work on the bottom. And now for the base of my crystal ball, I thought an eye would be a cute element since it's kind of meant to see the future. And I'm just adding the eye and then kind of some embellishments that are connected to it. So these on the end kind of hold the eye in place. I'm just filling this in. I want this to smooth over. Like so. My icing is on the stiff side because of the other lines that I'm adding. I want them to hold. I don't want everything to kind of Okay, now I've got this section. I'm going to create some lines now, replicating kind of lashes, but also just to kind of embellish this. So just lines that touch the center element and pull down. I'm rubbing my piping tip against the dry white icing to kind of cut it. Just like so. And now I'm just adding some dots to kind of finish it off here. And I'm going to repeat that at the seam between the crystal ball and the base. And I'm going to paint that gold, and then I'll be able to add the actual eye there in the center. But that's it for right now. And now for the base on my crystal ball, I'm painting all that in gold. I'm adding a little eye to that cavity we left. I'm working in white initially here. I'm working in the corner, filling in the bottom there, and then filling in the center with the green eye color there. Let's heal this up. Try not to get the green into your white. Get everything to connect to that gold outline. And now I'm just going to add my middle in the gray, like so. And then I'm adding a little white reflection on either side, right there and right there. And that's it. The cookie's done. I'm going to do a light misting of pearl on these, just to make them a little bit more sparkly. She's a good witch. And I want these nice and shiny. My crystal balls. And here is the completed set. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I have to tell you, this set was a lot of fun to actually make. There was airbrushing, there was watercolor, there was royal icing, stenciling, there was the gold, ruffles, so many little elements, and I really love the crystal ball. Wouldn't this be cute for a gender reveal party, something kind of different? What will it be? And then they bite into it and you see the colored cookie dough inside. That would be fun. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. And don't forget to click the little bell so that you get the notifications. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next time.